56% said they've not achieved their definition of the American dream.
The median age due of first-time home buyers is now 40 years old, a huge increase since the 1980s when the average first-time home buyer was in their late 20s.
The housing market is experiencing an all-time low of first-time buyers.
Rent and student loans are also apparently holding younger people back from even saving to buy homes.
45% said AI will impact nearly half or more than half of all jobs in the next year.
We're going to let others make the mistake of laying off entry-level employees and invest heavily in AI. We, on the other hand, are going to invest in human intelligence so that our employees can utilize AI to accomplish great things instead of being replaced by AI. Ascend 250 in plain terms is essentially a 3-year apprenticeship in community banking that's designed for high school graduates. So what this would look like is the first 18 months, these participants would come in and rotate amongst the various departments of the bank to be able to see them. They'll spend half their day working hand in hand with employees that do that day in and day out to get that level of expertise. The second part of their day, they're going to actually be working on a robust curriculum that is tailored accordingly to what department they're working with at that time. After the first 18 months, hopefully they've developed a passion for banking and a specific career path that they want to specialize in. What kind of makes this unique, really, is the offer from First Summit Bank. After a successful completion of the program, we're going to offer them a 7-year employment guarantee with the bank, as well as other perks that are pretty attractive, such as down payment assistance on a new home.
That's the offer. What it takes to earn it is another thing entirely.
This is an elite program that's designed to build the best bankers this country's ever seen. I don't anticipate every participant in Ascend 250 making it through the program. But for those that do make it through, they will have a real chance at a great life and a rewarding career. At the heart of Ascend 250 is the belief that we are not going to need the same level of workforce that we have today in the future. So that modern banker is really going to have a knowledge base that's able to make all of that work. Somewhere along the way, we broke the social contract that used to exist between the employer and the employee. And the employer no longer invests in the employee. And as a result, the employee takes the limited knowledge that they've gained over maybe their first 18 months at a company and uses that to leverage and jump ship to the next higher paying opportunity. And it's really a catch-22. So someone's got to take the initiative, and Ascend 250 is our attempt to take the initiative. We're saying to these students, I'm going to spend the money to invest in you. But in return, I'm going to guarantee that you have a 10-year resume coming out of this program, but I want you to stay. I want you to continue to live and work in the community in which you grew up in and feel like we've provided you with plenty of opportunity.
Allison isn't alone in this. The people who spend their careers preparing this generation see the same squeeze and the same opening.
Our mission as a community college sector is really to provide affordable, accessible, quality education for the communities that we serve. We are embedded in our communities, we care about our communities, and we attract students who want to live and work here. Ascend 250 has great possibility, not just locally, but regionally, maybe nationally. We've talked about the return on investment, and there's a bit more pressure on higher education to be a bit different. And so you're seeing higher education morph and change, finally, to adapt to these new pressures. It is important for us to partner with our community members, with our local business and industry, and work together to recruit students and train students appropriately. In programs like this, education to me in programs like this are really about changing, improving people's lives. And I wake up every day feeling empowered that I'm gonna go work and work hard and be dedicated to my craft and to my college, because we change people's lives. And when we do that individually, it also impacts our communities. It's a big deal.
Well, I think There's a lot of the experts out there that will talk about this generation having a quality of life that would be less than their parents, and that would be the first generation to do so. And then you couple that with the costs of college, the cost of housing, the cost of health insurance, all of these things, and the decisions, there's less forgiveness for making a mistake.
Underneath the program, though, this is really about a place and whether the people who grew up here can afford to stay.
There's so much here, why do you want to give it up? Your family raised you here. Why is this not good enough for you to want to stay in a place like this and give back? Because the whole thing I've learned more than anything working at this place was how to give back. And when you give back, how that multiple effect changes so much more and making the place better.
Johnstown loses 1% of its population a year. So that is not sustainable, right? We've got to stabilize the pie because today the pie is shrinking and eventually there will be no more pie unless we do something.
When you talk about people leaving the area, that could become contagious and people start to lose hope. So I think what people need to believe, they need to believe that this is a genuine opportunity for a life-sustaining job right here in your back door.
A SEN 250 could represent a significant competitive advantage for First Summit Bank. However, Allison wants to encourage and even assist other banks to follow her lead.
My hope for the future is that any community bank across the nation, even a direct competitor, would want a similar program in place. I'm happy to answer any phone call from any one of them and hand over the playbook and introduce them to our partners. We've invested a significant amount of time, energy, and resources into this program. So, the benefits of a SEN 250 to this community are undeniable. So the ask here is really that people move over their banking relationships to a community bank that is actively trying to improve the communities that it serves. Simply donating to local causes or supporting local events, it just doesn't cut it anymore. Not with the challenges that we're faced with today. So I realize asking someone to move their banking relationship over to a new bank is a heavy lift, but it's worth the effort if that bank uses those new resources to improve the lives of as many people as possible. This is reimagining that American dream. So we believe that if you work hard, you still can have a nice, viable career and a passion and be able to live and work in the town that you grew up in.